Hello friends, this is the discussion session for Prelims 2020 UPSC Comprehensive Test 1. The question paper, those who have not had the question paper copy with you, the link is given in the description box below. So you can click on that and download the question paper, and then you can listen to this discussion after you've solved the paper. Hello friends, this is Kostub. I hope the test was good today. Let us see. First, tiger is placed in IUCN Red List as vulnerable. Yeah, you are aware it is endangered. Second, India is home to 80%. This is correct. And third, India only. No, it is found in Bangladesh also and Nepal also. To the extent that in Bangladesh, it is a national animal, like in India also. Because you know that Sundarbans, 60% of Sundarbans is in Bangladesh. So Royal Bengal tiger is their national animal also. Now, apart from that, there is certain information here. The total number of tigers, as they are measured by the camera trap method, in India falls around 2,000 to 2,400 or 500 uh, uh, by this year. Then their stripes are unique. That is the pattern that is used to note and identify individual tiger. So that's unique like our fingerprints. It is endangered. It is in Bangladesh, Nepal, and Bhutan. It's a national animal of India and Bangladesh. The pug mark method was used earlier, but that has been changed to the camera trap method. It faces threat because of the poaching for its skin and body parts, which are used in Chinese medicine, and this is used to treat pain, muscle pain, rheumatic pain, and it is used to increase the strength of human body muscles, right, and pain and elevation of suffering. So this is the use in Chinese medicine. So here answer is C, 2 only. Second, GEF. Now, if you speak about GEF, it was established in 1992, the Rio Earth Summit. The basic aim was to tackle planet's most pressing environmental problems. Uh, about the protocols that have been mentioned here, conventions, all five. So all of them is correct, right? D is the answer. When we speak about Montreal, if that was mentioned in the question, so it's not directly related to Montreal, but yes, this GEF helps the implementation of Montreal. Total 183 members are present in GEF. So this financial mechanism, answer is D. Question number 3, Convention on Biological Diversity. So here, when we speak about Nagoya, you have to interchange this, right? So Nagoya is regarding the access to genetic resources and fair and equitable sharing of benefits with the indigenous people there, right? So that sharing of benefit is Nagoya. Cartagena Protocol is biosafety. So this is related to living modified organisms. So this is interchanged. Third, it is correct. So here, question number 3, answer is C, 3 only. Then Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana. Now, when you speak about Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana, the scheme was started in 2016. But after that, a lot of criticism was there, right? There are positive points also. Positive point is like 50% of the total farmers today are loanees under the scheme. It covers nearly 30% of India's cultivable area. This is positive. But what is the problem here? It was mandatory. So this compulsory, this was earlier when it was started in 2016. Recently, the changes that have been made, it has been made voluntary. So the second statement is wrong. First statement puts a limit on contribution of both center and state. This is also wrong because there is a limit on contribution by center. Say 30% for subsidy for unirrigated and 25% for irrigated land. But there such a limit contribution is not for state. States have a lot of flexibility as per the recent changes that were brought about. So both statements are incorrect here. Answer is D. LTRO, long-term repo operations. Now, basically understand that in our Indian economy, the basic uh, aim of RBI is to improve demand. How does RBI do that? By bringing the interest rates down so that there will be more credit uptake. It will lead to more investments, more employment generation, and more production in the economy, plus more demand in the economy. Now, to make the credit cheaper, RBI should ensure that long-term funds are available in the economy at a cheaper rate. Now, how does RBI do that? Now, what is LTRO? LTROs are similar to term repos with maturities 1 year to 3 year. This is correct. By carrying LTRO, RBI inject liquidity. Here, the statement is correct, but the only point is higher than repo. This is problematic. It is equal to our repo rate, right? So, at the same repo rate, RBI is making the banks available with long-term funds through this LTRO. So, both the here second statement is wrong. First statement is correct. Answer is A. Now, price stabilization fund scheme. What is the aim of this scheme? To avoid the fluctuation in the prices of a product. Now, this is this comes into play when the fluctuation in prices is more than 20% as compared to the average of last 7 years. I've checked it in a number of portals, even PIB. Onions are mentioned, potato is mentioned, pulses are mentioned. Tomato is not mentioned anywhere. So answer can be B, 1, 2, and 3. Question 7, wildlife in India. Now, first statement is wrong because there is only one country in the world which has both lion and tiger. That's it. That is India. Sundarbans forms the last remaining habitat of lion. No, it is in Gir. So Sundarbans is Royal Bengal tiger. So second statement is also wrong. Royal Bengal tiger is famous species Sundarbans. Yes. So B is the answer. 3 only. Question number 8, cement industry. Now, when you speak about cement, India is not the largest producer. The largest producer is China, right? And if you compare the production of India and China, you will understand that China produces nearly 7 times of India, right? In the given time period, 7 times cement is produced in China. So first statement is wrong. Second is correct. Answer is A. One only, that is incorrect, that is asked. Question number 9, geothermal energy. Now, when you speak about geothermal energy, you understand that this is a type of energy that is tapped from the earth surface or from below the earth surface. No, this is tectonic. So wherever there is plate tectonics, plate margins, especially convergence, you'll have such type of, or there is plate movement, you'll have this geothermal energy production. Where are the major centers in India? Puga Valley in Ladakh, Surajkhand in Uttarakhand. There is Manikaran, 5 megawatt plant in Himachal Pradesh. There is Tatapani in Chhattisgarh. So there are a number of locations. Even in Northeast, you have this geothermal energy. The point is, India is not in very high geothermal potential energy because you have Pacific ring of fire. If you have the countries, I'll tell you the name of the countries. Top countries: US, then Philippines, then Indonesia, Mexico, New Zealand, Italy. So these are the countries which have very high geothermal potential. So first statement is wrong. Second statement is correct. Third statement is also correct. So 2 and 3. B is the answer. Question number 10. Ramsar Convention. Now, when you speak about Ramsar, this Ramsar, it is 1971, but it was enacted in 1975. That is correct. Now, second statement is also correct here, and third statement is also correct here. The basics I'll give you. When you speak about Ramsar, it's decision-making body, top body, COP, that meets every 3 years. Last was in Dubai, 2018. It was COP 13. Most site, so a country with highest number of Ramsar sites, it is UK and Mexico. Top is UK, then Mexico. A country with highest area under Ramsar, Bolivia. Ramsar has RSIS, that is called Ramsar Sites Information Service. World Wetlands Day is on 2nd February. That is the date on which this treaty was adopted. Ramsar is criticized only for the fact that Ramsar does not have teeth, right? It cannot punish the violators. This is correct that overall, if you consider the geographical area of India, 4.7%, so nearly 5% of India's area is included under Ramsar sites. Total sites, recently government took a decision, you must be aware of that number of sites were brought under Ramsar. So that is 37 sites totally India has. And the extent of threat faced, I'll just give you an example which you can use in mains also. If you consider a city like Mumbai, Mumbai has destroyed 71% of its wetlands, right? And this is just one city of India, Mumbai. So this is about question number 10. Answer is D. Next is Ganges River dolphin. 11. First is it is vulnerable. This is wrong. It is endangered. Inhabits this. This is correct. Absolutely. And third, rise in salinity. See, understand that what is happening is a lot of rivers are being tapped in the form of dams. So because of that, the flow of water is reduced to the Sundarbans. If water reduces, the sea will ingress. So it will increase the salinity in that Sundarban area. Plus sediments will also be more because water flow is less. So because of this, there is a threat to Gangetic River dolphin. There was an article in the newspaper also, and there was a report in Down to Earth. So answer is 2 and 3 only. First statement is wrong. Question number 12. Now match the following. This Nahargarh, it is in Jaipur, not in, Rajasthan, not in Madhya Pradesh. So this is wrong. Wayanad is in Kerala, that is true. Singfan is not in Arunachal. So the name says it is from northeast, but not Arunachal. It is Nagaland. Why Singfan was in news? Recently, Naga government announced it as an elephant reserve. Fen, it is given fourth. It is correct. Fen is given in Madhya Pradesh. So it's Kanha National Park. This Fen, it is part of Kanha National Park. This is all about this question number 12. 2 and 4. Question 13. New issues. Now you are aware that last couple of years under WTO, there's a division between this developed and developing countries, and there's a lot of discussion going on in these new issues. What are these? E-commerce, gender development, investment facilitation. There is also curbing illegal fishing, right? This blockchain technology is not included, right? So blockchain has been adopted by public and private sector throughout the world. So there is no problem on blockchain. So that is not part of these new issues. So answer is 1, 3, and 4. C. Question 14. Operation Twist. Now, there was a song in US in the past about this twist. So that term is borrowed from there. But basically, what does it mean here in Indian context? Again, we go back to the same theory or funda that RBI has to put more credit at a cheaper rate into the economy. Now, Operation Twist, what does RBI do? RBI sells short-term securities and buys long-term securities simultaneously. So we can assume and safely conclude that what is RBI doing? RBI is converting its short-term securities into long-term securities. Why? If RBI buys all these long-term securities, there will be less amount of long-term securities in the market. So the prices will go up. If the price of those securities or bonds increases, the bond yield goes down. So profit that can be earned on that bond, that goes down. Now, yield goes down, and this yield directly determines, or the rate of interest in the economy is linked to this bond yield. So we have seen that the bond yields decrease, so the interest rate in the economy also decreases. If this happens, then cheaper interest will be available, or cheaper credit will be available at low interest for a long term for various economic players in the country. So they'll borrow more, invest more, that will lead to more production, more employment generation, more demand in the economy, which will set off, as in the words of the last economic survey, a virtuous cycle which is fueled by investment. Clear? So this is open market operations, this Operation Twist, open market operations. A is the answer. 15. DSIBs. Now keep the technicality aside. When we speak about domestically, systemically important bank, this means what? It's like a Goliath. So a bank which is too big to fail, right? Why too big to fail? Because the size of the bank is such that even if it fails, it's going to have huge repercussion because of its size, operations, interconnectedness on the economy. That also, the corollary is like, we also understand that government will not allow this too big to fail bank to fail, right? So if such banks come under stress, we can assume that safely that government is going to bail it out. So here, first statement is correct. Second statement, only SBI. No, there is ICICI, there is HDFC. So SBI, HDFC, ICICI. These are the Goliaths in Indian economy, right? These are called too big to fail. These are banks whose assets exceed 2% of GDP, right? So question 15, answer is A. Question 16, fertilizer industry. Now here, see, there is a lot of khichdi statistics available, right? We don't get into that. The point is, India is the third largest fertilizer producing country after China. So second is wrong. First statement is wrong here. China is the largest exporter of urea to India. We should understand one thing. NPK, N is urea. India is one of the leading producers. India is one of the largest producers. We are also largest consumers, and we do not need urea from outside. Hardly 10 to 15% we borrow from outside. So that's not the matter here, if urea is considered. So second statement is wrong. But if you consider diammonium phosphate, DAP, then India is the leading importer of DAP, and out of that import of India, more than 50% comes from China only. Clear? So if the second statement was not regarding urea but regarding diammonium phosphate, then this statement would have been correct. For urea, this is wrong. Other khichdi statistics I'll give you. India is second biggest India is second biggest in urea consumption. This fertilizer industry has to be seen from the point of view of nitrogen pollution also, which results into contamination of soil and water. Fertilizer industry initially was located very close to only the petrochemical plants because the raw material is from crude oil. But then because of gas pipelines that have been developed in the country, naphtha is available everywhere. Because of that, the fertilizer industries have also decentralized, and this is good because now fertilizer plants can be settled wherever there is demand in the hinterland. India is world's biggest buyer of DAP. 50% or more comes from China. Most urea is produced in India. India is the third largest producer after China and US overall. Clear? Here NPK, it's a ratio. All this you have to study. Next, here answer is D. None of the above. And now question number 17. Now very interesting. Why? The question is wrong. Here there are a lot of changes to be made. The answer key given here doesn't match. So you get the benefit of doubt for question 17. Because Cocos Plate, it is not between South America and Pacific. It is between Central America and Pacific. So for one is wrong. Nazca, it is not between Central America and Pacific. It is between South America and Pacific. So 2 is also wrong. Caroline, between Philippines and Indian, but it is between Philippines and Pacific. So this is also wrong. Fuji Plate, this seems to be a spelling mistake. There is no Fuji Plate, it is Fiji Plate. Fiji Plate, northeast of Australia, that is correct. Fuji is Mount Fuji, which is a volcanic mountain in Japan. So all 4 are incorrect if you consider Fuji. If you consider Fiji, top 3 are wrong. Only 4 would be the answer, right? Question number 18. Igneous rocks form out of magma and lava from interior. Absolutely correct. The igneous rocks which are formed from magma beneath the earth's surface, these are called plutonic rocks. Example is granite, larger crystals, beautiful rock. The igneous rocks which are formed on the over the earth's surface from lava which comes out, these are called as volcanic with smaller crystals which are brittle, and this is example is basalt. Foliation or lineation, this is in metamorphic. Sedimentary rocks is layered, but they don't have this foliation or lineation. So second statement is wrong. Metamorphic rocks are formed under action of pressure and temperature. This is absolutely correct. So 1 and 3 is right. Incorrect vicharla hai. Answer is 2. A. 19. TEEB. Now basically this is something that is an international organization which is functioning for environment, biodiversity, right? The basic aim is natural capital accounting. Biodiversity is the focus. Making nature's values visible, that is their aim. Everything is correct here. What is wrong is TEEB office is hosted by UNESCO. It is not by UNESCO, it is by UNEP, United Nations Environment Program, Nairobi, Kenya. So answer is 1 and 3A. Question number 20. The question is based on the State of the Forest Report 2019. You know, it is a biennial report. Every 2 years this is published by the government. Very important. Questions are asked on that. Questions are asked based on the information given. A lot of data is given, state-wise forest and their types and everything is given. So go through that. All 3 are correct here. It's an information-based question. D is the answer, 1, 2, 3. Question 21. This is also from the same report. Mangrove cover in the country, 5%. Adamala sanga, apana touch. Sorry. Don't worry, this is not corona. Right? This is like idiosyncratic curve that I have when the temperature outside is 42 degrees Celsius. Now, mangrove cover, it is given 5%. Now tell me, in the previous questions we have seen that wetlands in India is nearly 5%. Mangroves can be considered like wetlands, right? Subset of that. Now mangroves, though it sounds like a same statistic 5%, the gap is huge because the actual amount of total area of India that is covered by mangroves is 0.14% only. Here we have asked 5%. That is why statistical difference is very high. The statement is wrong. Gujarat has largest area under mangroves. This is wrong. Gujarat does have mangroves. Where? Gulf of Kambat, Gulf of Kutch, Narmada area. That area there are some mangroves, right, in the Gulf of Kambat and Gulf of Kutch, in these 2 areas. But then the largest increase of mangroves year-on-year basis has seen in Gujarat region. It has been seen in Gujarat region. But the largest area under mangroves, that is Sundarbans. We also have Pichavaram, which is in Tamil Nadu. It's very huge mangrove area. So Sundarbans and Pichavaram, right? Not Gujarat. So second statement is also wrong. Third, net increase, absolutely correct. So answer is A, 3 only. Question 22, fiscal drag. Very interesting. See, when we speak about a progressive taxation system that is like in our country, what happens is if the economy is doing well, salary of people increase, there is prosperity. But the point is because of progressive taxation, the more I earn, the more tax burden I have. So my increase in salary pushes me to the higher tax bracket. What has happened here? Governments get more revenue, economy is booming, but the disposable income in my hands is not increasing proportionate to the rise in GDP or government's revenue. Understood? So everything works, but the point is the disposable income in my hand does not increase as it should because the tax burden has increased. So ultimately, what has happened is there is increase in government receipts, but reduction in sorry, reduction in demand in the economy. A. Question 23. GDP deflator. First statement is right. Deflator is best, right? It has services. WPI does not have services. Deflator includes every good and service that is produced in the economy, right? Whereas there is a basket for CPI and WPI. So deflator is good, best. But why it is not used? Because of the time lag. Because GDP deflator can be calculated from GDP numbers which come after 3 months every quarter, right? So first statement is correct. GDP deflator includes prices of imported. No, not at all. GDP, whatever is produced in your domestic economy. So second statement is wrong. Weights of goods differ according to production level. That is also correct. The weights assigned to goods change according to their production level in GDP deflator. Right. So 1 and 3 is correct. 24. Free trade agreement. Now you are following current affairs. We are discussing free trade agreement with USA. That is why USA cannot be the answer. So Japan, South Korea, and Sri Lanka in different forms, we do have free trade arrangements with these three countries. So answer is D, 2, 3, 4. 25. Green revolution. Production of wheat has increased, no doubt. Regional inequalities have increased. Agreed. Production of cash crops has increased. Yes. Production of pulses? No. Right? It is rather believed that pulses and oilseeds have lost huge area because of green revolution and associated government policies like MSP. So answer is D, 134. Nilgiri Hills. Very interesting. They are spread over 4 states. No, Nilgiris are not in Andhra. It's a tri-junction. It is Kerala, Karnataka, and Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu majorly. So first statement is wrong. Separated from Karnataka plateau by Kaveri. No, it is Noyar. Separated from Karnataka plateau by Noyar river. Noyar. Second statement is wrong. Third, they consist of tropical forest, shola forest with dwarf trees. Now this is a bit problematic. Just understand that shola is found in Nilgiri. This is correct. Sholas, the word comes from solai or chola, which means evergreen tropical trees or tropical rainforest type of vegetation, which is evergreen. The problem is, if you get into the technicality, these shola forests, they occupy the areas of Nilgiris, but they are found only in the valleys. There is never a tree on the mountain or hill, right? There are only shola grasslands. So here what they are saying is Nilgiri hills consist of tropical forest with dwarf trees. This is wrong. It has only grassland, tropical grassland. The valleys have trees. So generally this is not considered correct. 26. Tropical and these areas are very famous for their grasslands. Uh, Surprisingly, they also have rhododendron, which is a Himalayan vegetation. Uh, Trees generally do not grow on the mountain tops. So answer is D, none of the above. Question 27. Crude oil reserves straightforward. This is Mangalore and Pudur. Answer is C. 28. Again, state of the forest report. All 3 points are correct here. Right? D is the answer. 29. Correctly matched. Stockholm, Basel, and Rotterdam. Stockholm, you know, it is persistent organic pollutants. So 1 is wrong. Basel is transboundary movement of hazardous waste. 2 is wrong. Rotterdam is prior informed consent for hazardous chemicals that are internationally traded. So 3 is also wrong. None of the above. Question 30. Forget the description. Alpha, beta, gamma diversity. What is it? Answer is B, beta diversity. I'll tell you the difference between alpha, beta, gamma. What is alpha diversity? It is average species diversity in a particular habitat locally. Right? There is a habitat, the average species diversity in that habitat. What is beta diversity? It is the ratio between the local, that is alpha, and the regional diversity. So, local diversity between species, it is alpha. The ratio of this alpha and the regional diversity is beta. And then the total diversity of a particular landscape, alpha plus beta, is gamma diversity. Right? I know it is technical, not given in the book directly, but then there was an article on this somewhere. The word came in Hindu in some article in the last 1 year. So beta diversity is the answer B. Question 31. External debt of India. 38% nearly is external commercial borrowings. C, 38.4%. So that is the answer C. 32. Treaty shopping and round tripping. Very interesting. See, first, when we speak about treaty shopping. The statement here is wrong, right? First statement is wrong about treaty shopping. Treaty shopping, if the treaty is between India and Singapore, then for treaty shopping, the person should be out of these two economies. So third country, right? So someone from third country invests to take undue advantage of this treaty. This is treaty shopping, right? This is a type of tax avoidance, right? Tax avoidance. So treaty shopping is associated with third country from a third person, person from a third country, and this is tax avoidance. When we speak about round tripping, this is tax evasion. American resident investing in India indirectly, हे description जे आहे second point मध्ये, this is the description of treaty shopping. Round tripping is the description given in first statement. So round tripping is like money laundering. Round tripping is called lazy susans. Right? That's called lazy susans or round trip transaction. This is used for tax evasion and money laundering. So it is kind of barter. The companies or the people, they move their money in the form of assets, and these assets are exchanged, sold, bought absolutely at no profit or no loss. And the main aim of this transaction is a fraud, just to save tax. So that is round tripping. So round tripping and treaty shopping are not the same. So incorrect, which are like all three are incorrect here. Answer is D. What is crowding out? Now, crowding out is straightforward. If the government wants to spend more, it borrows from the market. If it is going to borrow domestically, what it will do? The amount of credit that will be available for other players in the market will go on decreasing. So it will crowd out investment, right? So it is increased government spending, mainly funded by borrowings. B is the answer for 33. 34, National Mineral Policy 2019. Now this National Mineral Policy 2019 is very interesting document. Why? Because the document speaks about augmenting the mineral production, augmenting or increasing the mineral production in India in the next 7 years by 200%. It gives priority to deep sea minerals. It wants to decrease the trade deficit in this sector by more than 50%. And this National Mineral Policy 2019 was based on recommendations given by K. Rajeshwara Rao Committee. This policy also speaks of ease of doing business, plus critically fragile ecological areas, so no-go areas. So first statement is correct. Private sector to take up mining in mining area exploration. Second point is also right, and third is also right, that it brings about intergenerational equity, sustainable mining, right? So 1, 2, 3, D is the answer. 35, Moho, this is correct, between crust and mantle. Repeti is also correct, between upper mantle and lower mantle, and this Gutenberg is between mantle and core. All of them are correct. Next, 36, it is about self-ploughing. Now, without any doubt, you know it is black soil, because 60% or more is clay in black soil. So in a dry climate, there are huge cracks, and then the soil swallows itself. So this is self-aerating or self-ploughing soil. 37, pink pages. This is critically endangered. C. 38. Now, just not limiting myself to the 5 options given here, I'll tell you the entire sequence. There is 10 steps. I'll tell you in ascending order: genes, cells, organs, organism, population, community, ecosystem, landscape, biome, and biosphere. Right? What is the difference between population and community? Population is of a single same species. Community is it's a group of interacting populations or different species, right? So here the answer is B, 31254. Question 39, poverty gap ratio. Now when we speak about poverty gap ratio, here answer is B, but I'll just tell you that the way we measure poverty, the first point here was how we measure poverty. The first thing is head count ratio. So what you do is you put a poverty line, and then how many people are below the poverty line. So that head count ratio is used traditionally in Indian society. But the problem is it does not take into account the intensity of poverty. Why? Because a person, say, if you say the poverty line is 400 rupees. So 399, a person is earning only 399. So he is also poor. And a person who is not earning anything or just 150, he is also poor. But the gap between the two is not studied. Plus it doesn't tell us how much we have to increase the earning or give resources so that the people can be brought above poverty line. So that is called poverty gap, right? So it requires fewer resources to eliminate poverty. So this is better. This poverty gap index is developed by World Bank, right? It measures the shortfall from the poverty line. Now question number 40. You are aware of this, right? 21345 answer. 41, UNCTED is the answer. World Investment Report. 42, identify the correct pairs. Correct pairs are 2 and 3. One is wrong. Why? Because Natuna is not North Pacific. Natuna is present in South Pacific only. Sorry, South China Sea only. Right? So Natuna Island is in South China Sea. It is above or to the north of Borneo. You know, Borneo has Indonesia, Malaysia, Brunei. So above this Borneo, there is Natuna. It is in South China Sea. Spratly is also disputed. It is in South China Sea. Sabang port is in Indonesia. That is correct. This Sabang is asked in this exam because Sabang was in news. India's that Indo-Pacific policy has development of port in Indonesia. That is Sabang. Indians are developing this port in Indonesia, and that's going to give us a great leverage because that's a very good strategic location on the state of Malacca. So 2 and 3 is correct here. 43, about mountains. Block mountains are created. First statement is wrong, right. Second statement is wrong because uplifted blocks are horsed and lowered blocks are called graben. So that is interchanged. Himalayan is a young fold mountain. So third statement is wrong. The only statement correct is A, one only. 44, rare diseases. Now this is correct. See, basically when we speak about rare diseases, these are also called as orphan diseases. There is huge variability in their occurrence, in their incidence, prevalence, and the symptoms shown by various people. Rare diseases are generally considered to be genetic. One of the definitions of all the definitions available is statement 1 given here. That is correct. Second, Maharashtra is the first state to release rare diseases and orphan drugs policy. This is wrong. So incorrect which are lie. Only 2 is the answer. NCLT. Now first statement is correct. Companies law. Second statement is wrong because we can go to Supreme Court, right? So 45, I'll just give you a brief points on that. It's basically quasi-judicial body, NCLT. It adjudicates the issues relating to Indian companies under it's established under the Companies Act 2013. Balakrishna Iradi Committee. 16 benches are there, and appeal from NCLT goes to SC, right? It can go to, after this appellate tribunal, it can go to Supreme Court on a point of law, right? So it is possible. Second statement is wrong. Answer is A, one only. 46, India enterprise architecture. All of the above is correct, right? Basically this is again like under that broad umbrella of digital India, right? So answer is D. 47, snow leopard. It is not endangered, it is vulnerable. 47, right? So first statement is wrong. Second, mainly found in South and West Asia. It's not in West Asia, right? It's found in the South Asia, your 5 Himalayan states in India and adjoining area. So here answer is C. Snow leopard is listed in Appendix 1 of sites. This is correct. 47, lithium ion batteries. First statement is correct. Second statement is also right. Then if you want the names of the people, these are the 3 scientists who got this prize was good enough, Whittingham and Yoshino, 2019. So both statements are right. Anyway, you have to prepare lithium batteries. They are the right frontier science presently. Now, question 49, Niti Aayog's School Education Policy Index. All of them are correct. So go through the questions. And 50, Central Counterterrorism Law Enforcement Agency. It is NIA. I don't have to tell you that. Answer is C. Right. So this 50 questions we have covered here. This part 1 is over, and the part 2 will be uploaded very soon. Take care of your health. Stay focused on your studies. Thank you.